What's up? Welcome back to my channel, or for the first time if you're new, I'm Sylvan, and today I'm going to be reacting to Shunguang's animated short film, If I Could Become Light. This came out way earlier than expected for me. I actually am streaming as I'm recording this. And yeah, I'm just excited to see it. I have no idea what we're going to be getting into here. Probably going to tie into some of the stuff we already know about her. We've gotten to know her pretty decently, even just in last version, because let's face it, last version's story was as much about her, if not more, as it was about Banyue and Dailin. So I'm curious to see if it's just stuff we know, or if it's going to give us some revelation about her character, that kind of thing. So I'm not going to delay it all here. Feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoy the video. Leave a comment on your thoughts. Consider becoming a channel member if you want to support me just that little bit extra, and let's get into this. I feel like this either, based on the thumbnail, could be something very sort of mellow and ponderous and sad, potentially.
Senior Fufu.
Or potentially very high. I'm guessing this is her making sure that she remembers everyone based on, like, the loss of memory. Can she remember us? I like that it does the silhouette to make it unclear. Ooh, the echo of the sword. The thing that steals the memory. The precious memory, as we have learned.
Memories. They're like photographs losing their color. Fading a little more each day.
Yeah, I suppose so.
I can't remember what I just said.
Ooh.
Or the way home.
Ooh. She's a lot farther down the path of loss than we even thought.
Name.
Ooh, okay. We're going the sad route, it would seem.
But
oh, well, if that isn't a symbol and a half, her standing alone.
I definitely cannot find out.
I must suffer in silence, because that'll make it better. I mean, it is understandable to a degree, though. Not wanting them to worry.
I write down everything that happens every day, just like before. The early morning trainings, foraging, enjoying hot springs, picnicking. All
I really like the art style we have here.
They're so precious to me.
It really works well for this sort of
but I know
holding on to memories aesthetic.
They'll never come again.
Oh, is it time for the more dramatic stuff? Okay, holy shit. A time she was forced to use the sword? Ooh, I love that heel turn.
All thanks to the wielder of the Qingming sword!
Yeah.
I've been protected my whole life.
Yeah.
And now, I can finally protect everyone too.
But at what cost? That is the question. Cool! Ooh, the other side.
You know exactly what's going to happen if you keep this up.
I'm so curious about this other side to her.
You really haven't noticed. It's not just your memory.
Oh?
Your vision.
Oh, yeah.
Hearing, sense of smell.
All of your senses are going away as well.
Touch. Every one of your senses is slowly fading away.
Losing touch with reality.
For this needless sense of duty. Is it really worth it?
Ooh. I really like that moment.
My senses are fading away until death.
The ever-looming sword, even in case it takes from you. The way they're blotting out our faces. Really serves to show that loss of memory. And there we have the thumbnail. A really nice shot. Ooh, we're just an echo now. Ooh, whoa. I really like what this is doing. It serves a double purpose of letting it be either Bell or Wise, whoever you picked, basically. But also this question of what the real memory is. And this callback to holding hands at the movie theater, yeah.
Brother, do you remember the song Mom used to sing to us when we were little?
Ooh. Something tells me this song is gonna be something to break our hearts in the story. If not in this. Ooh. The great... Ooh! The, like, blindly, aimlessly just slaughtering ethereals.
Protect everyone! But who exactly is everyone?
We're seeing what could happen, I suppose. What fate may befall her if she keeps down
So
going,
familiar.
like, going down this path.
Who are they?
The complete loss of memory, of identity. Ooh. Ooh. Are those tears or raindrops? She's crying, but... Look to the picture. Ooh. It's just broken now. There's nothing. Huh. Are you content to forget everything? Or are you gonna somehow break through this?
Your mind is blank, and you remember nothing.
The other side of
What's the
her.
point of a sacrifice like this? It's okay.
Ooh. The reaction there.
I know.
What do you know?
I've made it this far safe and sound.
Ooh.
So there must be someone watching over me.
Yeah, there are
Even
people who
if
care
I
about
can't
you.
Remember
People who are
they
protecting
were
you.
or what they did for me. I can still feel it in my heart. The happiness they left behind.
You fool! You're just lying to yourself because you lack the courage to defy your own fate.
Ooh. Defy your own fate.
That's not true. I know that one day I'll forget everything.
Yeah.
I won't see, hear, smell, taste, or even feel anymore.
You'll become
But I
completely
also
removed
know
from everything.
there are people I love,
Yeah.
and I'm being loved by them.
Yeah.
They protected me,
Ooh.
and now
And
it's
thus the
my
color
turn
comes
to
back.
protect them.
Okay.
That's why I'm willing to become the wielder of the Qingming sword.
Okay.
Even if it costs me everything in the end. I don't mind.
So she comes to the same
No one's going
conclusion.
to remember you, let alone thank you.
She comes to the same conclusion as
Perhaps,
Yijuan's
but
sister.
it doesn't matter to me.
Just knowing that she loved
I
and
love
was
them.
loved,
That's all there is to it.
that's enough for her. Okay. Huh.
It's the same dream again.
And all just a dream, a fear of what's gonna come.
I'm up. I'm up.
She checks the photos again.
Always correct with her divinations.
Yeah.
Senior Fufu loves meat more than anything.
Yeah, fair.
Senior Inu cooks the best meals.
Uh-huh.
And brother, always so gentle and kind.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you remember now? Or
These
is...
are the people I want to protect.
Okay. Huh.
The people who I love very, very dearly.
Even if she can't remember the exact identity of the person, she knows that she loves them and that we love her. I suppose that's enough. I suppose that is enough. This is very intriguing to me. We bookend both sides of this with the same moment, or at least the same kind of moment. Shunguang sitting down on the steps of the temple, looking at the pictures of those she loves and remembering, holding on to those memories and what they mean to her. She has not lost those memories yet. She fears she may. She knows she will if she keeps going as she is, but she holds on to them as she still has them and believes that, at least by the end, even if she forgets who they are, the feeling of their love and her love for them will endure beyond the loss of memory and sense. It's a very complicated and bittersweet resolution of sorts. There is no answer, there is no real conclusion to this fear of forgetting everything, losing touch with everything. There is just this belief, this assurance that not everything will be lost. That if she continues down this path, if she willingly accepts fate and lets herself, in protecting people, fall out of her own being, essentially, that it'll be fine because she was loved and she loved. Even if she does not remember who or why, those feelings and the existence of those feelings she believes will endure. But at the same time, we have her other side, this other aspect to her, who sits there unable to stop her, but desperately, well, not even necessarily desperately, just deeply wanting her to stop, to find another way, to defy her fate, put down the sword, give up her destiny, is perhaps the more selfish of the two Shunguangs. One that wishes not to lose everything, fears losing everything, and would rather put down the sword, not risk themselves to save others, with the power at their disposal due to the cost that it has to themselves. And I feel like there's sort of two ways to look at that dichotomy of identities. We know that she has this other identity as a tangible identity of sorts. Whether it is just a mood shift or a full-on second personality is to be seen, but we are aware that it is a tangible, different thing based on the special program. But what I'm curious to see is if it is truly a second full identity that lands in a similar spot as Evernight and March, or stuff like that, where it's this slightly more intimidating and confident, capable identity that is really just trying to protect the softer, more susceptible to harm version of themselves, essentially. That is certainly a possibility. And if so, that lines up with what we have here. But I suppose it also could just be essentially just a different side to her that breaks out from time to time in some form. This side of her that she's pushed down because, very much so, she is making a martyr of herself. And to make a martyr of yourself is to put your own needs aside and sacrifice yourself for the greater good, for those you love, for whatever. But inevitably, if she has these feelings of, what about me? Why am I doing this? Am I really going to let myself suffer and fall into nothingness just to protect some more people? And if those questions are pushed down hard enough but bubble up again regardless, I could see it turning into some other identity. Something, honestly, a bit more realistic of a sort of split personality type scenario. But either way, regardless of which one of those it is, they serve a similar purpose here. They're in her inner world of sorts, yelling and shouting at her, why are you doing this? Just put down the sword, fight against this destiny, fight against your fate. And if this was Star Rail, where fighting against destiny is such a fundamental theme of that game, I would expect that she would do that. But based on how this short ends, it does feel like she is much more confident and assured in her path, even if it leads her to ruin. Of course, those who love her will still continue to look for ways to save her. As long as she just doesn't throw caution to the wind, there is still the chance that that fate will never come, even if she embraces it. But what this animation tells us is that she is embracing that destiny for the sake of those she loves and for the sake of protecting others. That is ultimately what this is doing. But looking at overall a lot more of the specific details in here, we have a lot of great moments visually and just thematically. Obviously, we have the bookends of looking at the pictures with the writing on the back to effectively test her knowledge, make sure she's remembering them, make sure she remembers those she cares about. I've already touched on that. But in this, we have our picture, the vague silhouette, so that it isn't perfectly clear if this is Belle or Wise that is in this picture. They have similar enough hairstyles that in this silhouette, it makes it harder to tell. And as I mentioned in the reaction itself, it serves a double purpose. One, so it's ambiguous. It can be slotted in with whoever you picked to be in line with the version of the story that you experienced in play. But at the same time, it also serves the entire point of this animated short, to show that her memories are failing her, that her senses are failing her. She is afraid of what it will mean to forget about us. She is afraid of what it will mean to lose these memories she finds so precious. And that is something that is very well expressed in this ambiguous version of Phaethon. And immediately after that, we get one of the first real lines of the entire short, which is memories. They're like photographs losing their color, fading a little more each day. It's not the first time we've heard some kind of metaphor or simile from Shunguang about the tragedy of memory. Obviously, it is much more exemplified for her, but it is a true reality for everyone that memories fade in time, they distort in time. The details are lost, the color fades. We cannot hold on to memories forever. So this is a very real thing that anyone can associate with and empathize with. It obviously is just something that she experiences far more starkly. And from here, we see really what the tragic, worst version of what it is for her to lose memory is. She can't even remember what she just said, or the way home. Sometimes I even forget my own name. And this is paired with the visual of her reflected and distorted in this one normal, just curved mirror. It serves a good purpose alongside this line for a variety of reasons. She sometimes even forgets her own name. Her own identity is slipping away from her. And this is vaguely reflected, pun intended there, in the fact that she looks to herself in the mirror and inherently, based on the line, may not recognize herself for a moment. And especially so, this is reflected in the fact that she is distorted by the curve of the mirror. It is not quite right. The memory of herself does not quite match the reality. Even the most fundamental things of her identity are being pulled away. And from there, we get the other real aspect that I have yet to touch on in this short and about her character in general, which is perfectly exemplified with this shot and line. But I can't tell them. They definitely cannot find out. She doesn't want them to worry. She doesn't want those who love her and care about her to be burdened with the knowledge that she is forgetting them. She wants to do her best to maintain a sense of normalcy, a sense that everything is fine, until she literally can't. It's something incredibly self-destructive, but born out of care and love for others. She doesn't want to see anyone around her desperately tearing themselves apart, trying to save her. We already can see what some of that looks like with her brother. The fact that he went undercover as effectively a double agent of sorts against Sarah and the Exaltists, regardless of how effective that was, all to try to save her from this curse. And so if she can try to make sure that people are not desperate to put themselves at risk like that, she wants to avoid it. But at the same time, it's self-destructive, massively so, because she is taking all of this burden that could be spread out across everyone who cares about her and would be willing to take on that burden to help her. She ends up with all of it on herself, pretending everything is fine, acting like everything is okay, just as this burden of grieving the loss of the self only grows. And of course, as I mentioned, this visual does a perfect job of showing that. There's the light of the interior of those she cares about having a good time, drinking some tea, enjoying themselves. None the wiser that just outside, Shunguang is suffering. She's in the dark, silhouetted by the light of the room, refusing to step inside for the fear of what it would do if they saw her. From there, we cut to another one of her methods to try to desperately hold on to these memories. Her writing in her diary. We know that it is something precious to her that she has excessively used to write down everything she wants to remember. And we can see here that the memory she is writing down now is one we experienced, one we are familiar with. The time that we went to the movies with her. We catch a glimpse of that memory later in this animated short as well. But the fact that these lines that we get glimpses of what she is writing omit the detail of who she was with is very notable. The first line, "The day we went to the movies," cuts off before it can say who she went with, but it is clear that she went with someone. I was wearing that casual dress. Blank said it really suits me. There isn't an obvious blank, but it trails off, at least in the translation. I don't know necessarily how it plays out in the actual text. We are omitted from these details. It continues to visually serve the purpose of omitting who is in her memories, who she shares these precious moments with. And it's here she recalls various moments that she has written down in her diary. The life she has lived, the experiences she has had with the people she cares about. Early morning trainings, enjoying hot springs, foraging, all of these moments that are precious to her. And it's all with this slight alteration to the style of the animated short that really gives this moment, these shots of the past, this feeling of memory, of vibrant pastel emotion is really what it gives off. But at the same time, the edges are not clear. The image is not complete beyond the core feeling of the memory. And yet, despite how precious all of these memories are to her, she knows they'll never come again. Which is a line that intrigues me, because she can have similar experiences. They may not be the exact moments, they may not carry the same weight, they may not carry the same emotion necessarily, but you can spend more time with the people you love. Even if there is this deadline in her life where everything will be stripped away, that doesn't mean that there won't be more moments. So to say that they will not come again, they never will come again, is perhaps some of that fear, that acceptance of her reality, of her destiny, setting into her. This belief, this acceptance that I had good times, I had happy moments, I had people who I care about, but they will be gone. I will be gone. And that is just how it is. It's a sad thing. But then from here we have a very dramatic tone shift, at least for a moment, as we jump into this crisis moment, this moment of disaster. In a hollow, people terrified running and screaming away from a horde of ethereals. Everything is bathed in a deep red, as everything else is in shadow, and she stands staring at the sword. The question, will I use this to save those people? Will I once again sacrifice myself, my memories, my very being to save them? And the answer is yes. We get that answer with her heel turn towards the bright red. And the next thing we see, the sky is clear, the ethereals are defeated, and everyone looks to her in admiration. It's all thanks to the wielder of the Qingming sword. They see the hero, the savior, the sword master. They do not see the cost that it takes on her. And hearing these words, she thinks to herself, I've been protected my whole life. I was sequestered up to the mountain, told to train, not push myself, wait until we find a way to protect you from the sword. But now that I go out and use this power, I can protect everyone else. I don't need to be protected by everyone if I protect them. But that isn't the whole of it. She's trying to take all of this burden on herself. She was protected for so long that she wants to help people herself. She wants to do something. She wants this admiration, this thanks, this recognition that she can help people, that she can do something. But it once again is at that cost. And we once again have this moment of her hiding her pain, hiding her sorrow, hiding her fear, as while facing away, thinking about this, she has a very complex expression on her face, one filled with the various emotions going through her in that moment. But as she turns towards them, towards the light, towards everyone else, she smiles. She acts as if everything is fine. And it is here, as she pushes this down once more, that something fights back. She fights back against herself. Her other self appears and asks, still pretending? You know exactly what's going to happen if you keep this up. And she begins to argue back against herself. There has to be another way. There has to be a way that I can still help the people I care about, not burden them with this, and still be okay. But she doesn't have an answer of how she can do that. She doesn't have any way to argue against herself in this moment. She does not know of another way. And as far as she knows, there is no other way. And so she cannot argue. She knows what will happen if she keeps going, and she, by pretending, is accepting that. And so her other self emphasizes what she is doing, what she is embracing, what she is accepting. The real tragedy isn't just the loss of your memory. It is the loss of everything. Your senses. You will not be able to taste, see, hear, smell, touch. You will not feel anything. You will essentially be a husk. Is that what you want? Because the way you are going, that is what you are welcoming. And so we get to the real point of why she has appeared, of why she brings this up. It's all for this needless sense of duty. Is it really worth it? Should you really throw your very being away to save these people? Just because you think you should protect them, that you think doing something yourself will mean that less people get hurt. Is that really worth it? Is this sense of duty worth it? This version of her doesn't think so. As I described her, she is, in a way, the selfish version of herself. The one who wants to ignore duty, ignore what she can do to help others, and save herself. An understandable feeling, one that I would never say is wrong. But at the same time, throwing away that sense of duty is throwing more away than just that. There's more to it than that. But in this moment, Shunguang does not have an answer for herself. She does not have a way to tell herself, yes, this duty is important. Yes, I will not give it up. I will protect these people I care about. I will fight until I am nothing. I will become a martyr. I will sacrifice myself for everything I care for. She does not have a reason in her mind that she can speak aloud, that can counter what this other version of her has said. And so in this moment, she is completely gray. She is nothing. She is losing herself with no answer of why. And stepping out of the metaphysical inner space talking to herself, this is also reflected in the dropping of her diary, the pages scattering, another chance for her to forget and lose memories. A page may have been lost. She may never find some of the pages. She may mix them up not in the right order. Everything is telling her, yelling at her, screaming at her, stop this. You are hurting yourself. You are destroying yourself. You will be nothing if you keep going. And once again, she does not have an answer for why she is doing this. She does not have an answer to stop this. And so she runs. She leaves her room, the pages scattered, the sword there, the picture of everyone she cares about, the details already leaving her mind, and just falls down and lays among the flowers. As then we glimpse several of her memories once more. This time, our presence becoming even more vague. A loss of memory of us becoming even more exaggerated and exemplified. And it's in this sequence that we have this moment of the movie that she was writing about before. And I land on this moment to talk about stuff more again, because I think it points to the conclusion she reaches later. She may not remember the exact identity of the person she was there with. She may not remember exactly who it is that she cares about, but the part of the memory that does remain is that experience of awkwardly holding hands, touching hands, the feeling of being close to someone you care about, of loving someone and being loved by them. And as we see later, that is what her answer to all of these questions becomes later. But interestingly enough, before we reach that conclusion, before we see the decision she has come to, the reason why, the comfort that she takes in knowing that even if everything is lost, her love will remain. We have this moment with her brother, one that inevitably has to have some level of not 100% reality, or at the very least be in the past before she met us. Because so far, everything has been either explicitly memories of the past or moments after she has met us and gotten to know us. But this moment is a tangible thing of her talking to her brother. So as we see at the end, this might all be tied into the dream she is having, and thus not be 100% real or a mix of memory, but its purpose is still very tangible. She asks him about a song their mother used to sing to them, a memory of love that she was too young to fully remember, even outside of the effects of her curse. Something tangible, something filled with emotion that reminds that even if they are gone, there were people who care about you. There are people who care about you. And so they sing it together. They remember this feeling, this connection, both to their mother and to each other. But then this song is paired with the cruel reality of her future, of her destiny, of her fate. Aimlessly dragging her sword, stumbling forward, drained of color. She fights in something halfway between a dance and a stumbling, half-asleep state. Her eyes are closed. There's a mastery in her fighting as well as a lack of something. This is what the sword turns you into. This is what the sword will do to her. But the fact that the song her mother would sing to her, that she would sing with her brother to remember that, is layered over this, and that there is this almost dance-like quality to her movements. It speaks to me this idea that, once again, something remains. Even when the self has been eradicated, sense and memory are gone, the feeling remains. And in this, there is this desperation from her. I have to protect everyone. I need to be there to save them, to protect them, to be there for them. Even as I am withering away, becoming nothing, I care too much about them to stand on the sidelines. But at the same time, she doesn't even know who she is fighting for anymore. She has forgotten who everyone is. And with this, we have a sequence of an ethereal appearing suddenly, attacking her, and its attack, rather than drawing blood, almost seemingly cutting away pages from herself, pages of her diary, memories. It is a very visceral way to express that the threat of death is not from the actual fight itself with any ethereal, but from the power she uses to win that fight. Physical injury is not a real threat. Injury to the self, to memory, to being, is what is being cut away. But even as all of this is cut away bit by bit, there's a familiarity to it, which in a way makes it more tragic. She understands that there is something familiar that is being lost. We watch as the pictures she used to remember everyone are no longer recognized by her. They've lost their color too. And here we have, in this full grayscale at this point, rippling of tears is what I like to think it is, as she lays there crying, which once again, based on where we go with this, speaks to me as the lingering feeling behind the lost memories, the emotions that were left behind. Or if she truly has forgotten everything about them, has lost those emotions, she would not cry for them. She would not lament that loss in the same way. If they truly had become entirely disconnected from her, the memories might as well have been of someone else's life. The sadness would not be this visceral. And so it is proof of something enduring. And so even when she looks to this empty, broken, damaged picture, having no idea what this memory was, she still holds on to it, she still looks to it, and the music begins to build. And as she lets go of the empty picture, her other self grabs hold of it, here to seemingly mock the fact that things turned out the way she predicted. You've lost everything. Your mind is blank and you remember nothing. You have become nothing. What's the point of a sacrifice like this? What's the point of sacrificing yourself for people you can't even remember? But she has an answer, a response, a rebuttal now. It's okay. And that is enough to shake this other version of herself, who has been oh so confident, believing that she knew exactly what should be done and that what Shunguang is doing is foolish. The moment that this withered, broken, empty self says that it's okay, says that the sacrifice has meaning, that shakes her. And with that assertion that it is okay, she lands. She is no longer falling. She has landed somewhere stable. She is merely an outline, empty of color still. She has been emptied out, but there is something grounding her. She's made it this far, so she believes there must be someone watching over her. She knows she couldn't have made it this far alone, and so even if she can't remember them, she knows that they were there and are likely still there, doing what they can to help her. And it's here that recognition of, even if she has forgotten, the feeling remains, the love remains. She can feel it in her heart, the happiness they left behind. Everything they did for her, the details of which are lost, the way it has affected her remains. And to take it further, even if she cannot know what they are doing for her, even if she is completely isolated from reality, from herself, she can have the reassurance that probably there are people out there who are doing what they can to help her now as well. That love persists even now. At which point, finally, the other version manages to speak up, but it is empty. It is just insults. You fool, you're lying to yourself. She's just saying, nuh-uh. She's trying to poke holes in this confidence of this empty person. How can she believe so firmly that this is okay when she is becoming nothing? How can that be okay? She thinks it's because she lacks the courage to defy her own fate, that she has reserved herself to this fate. But once again, even as a husk of herself, she now has an answer she didn't have before. She sticks true to her belief, and she finally states it entirely in its most visceral form now. her reason, her belief, her understanding of why this is okay, why she can accept this fate. Even if she loses her memories, even if she loses her senses, she knows beyond any doubt that despite all of that, there are people she loves, and they love her. The emotions remain, the feeling remains. That can never be lost. And it's here that even as she has become so much less of herself, that she has lost so much of what makes her her memories, her senses, light begins to return to her, color begins to return to her, but it is in this much more visceral, shining form than it ever was in reality. I think of this as a representation of this feeling shining through, of the pure love and happiness and connection that she has to anybody and everybody that she protected and will protect, regardless of if she remembers them, now not held back by anything. It is all that is left, so it can shine truer than it ever could prior. And that's why she's willing to protect them. And that's why she's willing to wield the sword. She's willing to sacrifice herself for those she cares about, because she knows that they would do the same for her, even if she does not know them. And at this point, the argument of her other self has broken down entirely. She is shouting at this glowing beacon of herself, trying to break her confidence. No one will remember you, let alone thank you. But she misses the point. It isn't about thanks. It isn't about remembering. It is about helping those you love. She acknowledges she likely won't get any thanks. She won't remember them, but that doesn't matter to her. She loves them, and that's all there is to it. Love isn't a thing you can argue. Love isn't a thing that you can apply logic to. It's just something you act on. And with that assertion, with that acknowledgement that love is the thing that matters, above all else, she wakes up. This was all a dream, a nightmare of the future that ended as an acceptance, a belief in love enduring, despite everything. Evidently a dream she has had plenty of times, which of course the nightmarish aspects make plenty of sense. A reoccurring nightmare of losing yourself, of losing your memory. For someone like her, who that is a legitimate threat, it makes complete sense. But if we're to believe that the conclusion of that dream is also recurring, then that further implies her confidence in love, in her love of others, and what that means she must do. And so she begins her day, as always, making sure she remembers everything. Even if she has accepted what it means to forget everyone, and that it's okay because she loves them and will do anything to protect them no matter what, she does not want to forget them either. She will do everything she can to make sure that she holds on to these memories as long as she can, until she finally lands on us again. Once again, the memory is hazy. It's difficult to recall. We once again don't hear her answer who we are. But her looking to the picture is answered not with concern or worry or fear, but with a smile. Contented smile. Whether this is to say that she still remembers us and just does not say it aloud and finds comfort in that, or if this is a reaffirming of her statement in the dream that even if she is struggling to remember us, she recognizes the fondness she has for the person in the picture, and thus that is okay. That also could be the possibility. A final, subtle, minor assurance of what she believes. Alongside the statement, these are the people I want to protect. I will protect these people. Even as I forget them, I will make sure I protect them. For they are the people she loves very, very dearly. And once again, as she said earlier, that's all there is to it. She loves them dearly, and so she will protect them, no matter what. There is a tragedy to it still, a bittersweetness to it. But the fact that she can find the comfort in that love is enough to make it just a little bit better. We will still desperately search for a way to help her, to save her from this curse. But there is comfort in that, for both her and us. She will not disappear terrified. She will go out knowing that she was loved and that she loved. And at the end of the day, that is the most important thing. But that is the end of the animated short. It really hones in, as you can tell, into this idea of love and that being everything. And it's with that before I close out here, I feel like it is worth mentioning the discussion of Shunguang's love of us, the player character of Faithin. Because it is very obvious with just the content we already had and this, that her love for us and the relationship that we have is a key focal point of her character. I know that there are plenty of people who are not super interested in Shunguang as a character because they view her as just another person who is effectively falling for the main character and is effectively waifu bait to a degree in that sense, which I can understand. I can see where they're coming from with that, where anybody with that opinion is coming from. And I will admit, at some points prior to this, especially with the one event that was basically just us going on dates with her, I could feel a little bit of that. I could feel a little bit of them laying it on thick how much she cares about us. But with this animated short, I see the purpose. I see the intent. I see why they make us so connected to her, or at least try. We can debate how well they succeeded. That's another discussion, but it is not for no reason. This is a part of her character. This is a part of her arc, of her struggle. And for that, I am much more willing to allow however much hinting at romance they want to do, however much waifu bait they want to do, because it serves a narrative and thematic purpose now. And that's really what I come to this stuff for. And the fact that this theme and narrative arc for her and idea is not solely weighing upon us, the main character, is I think what makes it a little better for me as well. The fact that she has this love for her brother, or the other members of the Shunguang Summit, even if we don't see as much of it compared to her relationship with us, the fact that that is also acknowledged, that that is also a part of it, is important. I think that helps to balance it. But ultimately, I think that is really all I have to say about this animated short to end my sort of immediate opinions on Shunguang as a character as she stands now. So I'm going to end things here. Feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, leave a comment on your thoughts, and very special thanks to all of my channel members, including Amor Basilica, Desaize, and Pokelove 101 at the normal tier, and Kano Nano at the cool person tier. Really appreciate your support, as always, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye!